Hi everyone, welcome back to another cake video. Today let's make an Oreo cake. Let's start off just by putting some crushed Oreos into my buttercream frosting. I made sure that my Oreos were nice and crushed up really well. That way I don't have any big chunks while I am frosting or piping this onto my cake. I'm putting a small amount of frosting onto my cake board, and this will help glue the cake on so that it doesn't move around. Filling my cake with my Oreo buttercream that we had just made. And if I haven't mentioned already, I am using my moist chocolate cake recipe. And these are 6-inch cake rounds. On goes my second layer. And yes, I know it is a little bit lopsided, but don't worry, I'm going to fix it up with some frosting. I'm just making sure that my frosting is nice and leveled before I put on my final layer onto my cake. Using my smaller offset spatula for the filling. And when I have it nice and leveled, I will place on my final layer onto my cake, pressing it onto the cake and making sure it's nice and straight. And then a dollop on top of my cake to start with a final coat. I decided not to do a crumb coat today. Since I'm working with a chocolate cake with Oreo frosting, I don't mind if any of the cake is showing. I think it'll give it a little bit of character. And as always, I am working my way from the top and going down, pushing my buttercream to the sides, making sure I get in between each layer. That way I know I won't have any cake showing and I won't have any air pockets. And once I have my cake all covered up in my Oreo frosting, I am going to switch to the cake scraper and just scrape off any excess frosting. And if you've been following me on here, you guys know that I use my cake scraper to make sure that I get straight sides on my cake. Any additional gaps, I'll go back in with my spatula and just cover that back up with some extra frosting. And then smoothing it back out with my cake scraper. And I'm just going to continue with my cake scraper and spatula on repeat until I get an even smooth side. And then once I'm happy with the outcome, I am going to start scraping off the top of my cake. Making sure I get rid of that bulge on top, I'm going to scrape it one last time. And then a final cleaning of the top. Now I did place this into the freezer for a few minutes before I took it back out. And once it was back out, I went ahead and took a toothpick to mark where I wanted my drapes and my ganache drip. Now this was the part that was really tricky. I had this image in my head, but I wasn't quite sure how I was going to control the drip. Since I have never done a ganache drip on the side of my cake before, I've always just started onto the top. As you can tell, I wasn't too worried if I got a little bit messy. I decided I was just going to keep going. It was definitely one of those cakes that was a trust the process, for sure. I wasn't quite sure how the cake was going to end up looking, but at this point, I was already committed, so I was not going to stop now. I did decide to go back in and do some more drips onto my ganache, and so that's what you see me doing right now. And then once I was happy with that, I went in with a 104 tip and just decided to do some ruffles. And with the piping tips, I just make sure that I had used bigger ones. I know that I'm working with an Oreo frosting. And the last thing that I want is to have the crumbs stuck into smaller piping tips. And I got the idea of a vintage style Oreo cake a few weeks ago. For some reason, Oreo cakes or cookie and cream cakes are so popular, but I've noticed that all of the designs are pretty much about the same. And so I wanted to try something different today, so hopefully this turns out. Now I decided to do another drip on top. I did trace it ahead of time with a toothpick, and that way I just know where to do my ganache strip at. And this is basically just a repeat from the bottom. I made sure that my ganache was nice and warm. I had let it cool down a little bit too much earlier, so I had to put this back into the microwave for about another 5 minutes. And so the last thing I wanted was something that was too runny or something that was not runny at all. Finding a good consistency of the ganache was definitely tricky for this cake design. And as you can see, I did go back in and put additional drips onto my ganache. And I didn't show this part, but when I was done with the ganache drips, I did put it back into the freezer for it to chill before I did start with my piping. This way my ganache is not smudging on my buttercream. And with the top piping, I decided to do an open star tip number 20 for this. I'm doing an up and down motion just for the ruffle effect. And then I decided to do a bigger tip, which is a number 32 for the bottom and top borders. I do want to let you guys know that this was just a content cake, you guys. While I was making this cake, my son did come downstairs. He is 15 and he loves Oreo cake. And if you've been following me, you guys know that I made a mint Oreo cake for his birthday this past May. So he was pretty excited that I was making an Oreo cake today. And now onto the top border. The same piping tip that I did for the bottom. Let me know what you guys think of this cake so far, if you guys have seen any Oreo cakes decorated differently. I definitely wanted to make sure that everyone knew that this was still an Oreo cake. The drips on this cake was definitely a challenge for me for sure. I've also noticed that I haven't done any chocolate cakes lately. Most of the cakes that I've made in the past have all been vanilla cakes, and so decided to change it up with a chocolate cake. And then finishing off my cake with a number 12 tip, and it's just a round circle tip. Decided to pipe this on the top of my ruffles just to finish it off. This was definitely a fun cake to make. And since my son already called dibs on this cake, I did decide to pipe on the top of my cake with some extra ganache that I had, and just decided to write Oreo lovers for this cake to finish it off. But yeah, this is about it. Let me know what you guys think. Is this a cake that you would want for your birthday or for your occasion? If you've stuck around this long, don't forget to like it, share, and subscribe to my channel. Follow my Instagram where I will be posting lots and lots of pictures of this cake. And don't worry, you guys, I am not done yet. Since my son wanted this cake, let's cut into it to see what the inside looks like. He got a plate ready for me, so here we go. Let's just go ahead and cut him a slice. And of course, my slices always have to be big just to show you guys what the inside looks like. I always get excited when I cut into a cake. Maybe just because I love the reveal. And don't worry guys, this cake was gone so fast. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you guys like my video. And I will see you all in my next one. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Bye.